What's up, guys? Today we got a little small project. It is to do with the four-wheeler. So I added, and these are chocks for the wheels of the four-wheeler or the log skidder. So if the log's heavy, you know, it won't keep moving. And I also got an addition of my chainsaw mount with my chainsaw. So that's what, 13 or 11, 12 pounds, something like that. So what we're doing is we're putting a heavy duty spring in this. Polaris springs start off great. After a while they start to sag and they get weak. So I had to do it on the front for the plow. So we are going to do the rear, and hopefully it's all better, because I'm hauling logs. It's kind of heavy, you know. With me, obviously I'm a heavier guy. This should help out quite a bit, especially when we get like 2 people on the four-wheeler, if we're going to check sap lines or cut trees or whatever. So, and all the addition of the mud, also the mud gets caked on this thing and adds weight. Everything adds weight to this thing. So we gotta up the rear springs. If you could tell, the four-wheeler kind of sits on an angle like this. The front end's higher than the lower end. That's because we already switched springs for the plow, and they only had red at the time, so it's red. But it is what it is. I don't care. But let's get switching the springs out here. All you'll need is a socket wrench, 9/16 socket, a normal wrench, a jack, and a sense of humor. And that's it. That's all you need. And you'll get it done. I promise. But you really need a sense of humor, especially on the exhaust side. See how much sag that had? Hopefully you get rid of all that. There. So, as you can tell on our adjusters, that's all the way maxed out, and it still wasn't enough, because these are they sag after a while. I mean, this four-wheeler doesn't have many hours on it, but with racing, we use it for my brother's racing trips and stuff like that. So equipment and everything else. So it's time to upgrade the springs, and we'll get to that. Hope that's 9/16. That'd be a cat's meow. That is. Ah, it's just like a Dodge Ram. Everything was 10 mil. This is all 9/16. Yeah, of course. Thanks to Walt. Whoa. Oh yeah. He got her on the road now. All right. So, if you guys ever deal with shocks and springs, these are pretty dangerous. Dangerous little units, so we got to be careful of this. So, we got this little nifty little tool from Polaris to help out with getting the springs either tightened or loosened, and we're going to loosen this so we're not struggling. One more. Alright. So that is a loose setting. The loosest setting. Alright. So we're going to do this sketchy way. And at least if I get hurt, you guys get to see it. Oh yeah. I already feel this one's going to go bad. Okay. Now the sketchy part. Okay. One spring down. We'll give a side-by-side comparison. Hang on. That's how much of a difference there is. I don't know if you guys can see that. Pretty good size difference. I went with EPIs. That's why I went with a front spring too. So, oh boy. Okay. Alright guys. Finally figured it out. She's pretty sketchy. Whoa. To be 25% heavier than stocks. But yeah, they're not even close to the stock ones. Sagged out. They started real stiff. I like that, but then, you know, after a couple logs, they sagged out. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna bypass the pain, and we're gonna just crank it out. It's gonna ride like a lumber wagon, but well, at least it won't be bottoming out and hitting rock, the skid plates hitting rocks, stuff like that. Well, yeah, one more. That's a big jump. Okay. It's together and compressed. Okay, got that. Okay, good and tight. So, that one's done. Now to the other. Crisscross applesauce. Oh, this is making things much worse. Got the exhaust in the way. Huh. Well, that's fun. Not. Alright, well, I can't use this. I gotta use the normal wrench, I guess. Well, apparently, I didn't hose this one off good enough on this side, apparently. Oh, still a fun amount to go. And we didn't lose it, so that's good. Hammer. Yeah. All right. Let's get the spring off this way, won't we? So, we're just reversing the steps from last time. More. Wait. Alright. You win. Glad that wasn't me. My face. Oh, golly. Nervousness at all-time high right now. Oh, oh. Why? see if this, I didn't really like this, doing it like this, but, shoot. Oh, just get Mike to it. He lives with sketchy stuff. What's the chance of this actually working? Slim to none. Ah. Zouch! How the frick do I do this? Ah, just like that, eh? A little boo-boo, not so bad. Not bleeding, that's good. Man, do you think there would be a better tool for this? I mean, literally, that's how thin it is. Not very thin. And I got to rust it on here. You think this would be wider so you wouldn't slip and bust your knuckles and people make fun of you and put it on YouTube. You know, it's just not Polaris, it's all of them. Every manufacturer of dirt bikes, four-wheelers, snowmobiles, any fun things make it difficult to work on. Alright, they got just one more, and that's a big jump, so this is going to be not the cat's meow, I'll tell you that. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got it. Oh, there's sweat in my eyes. Ugh. Alright. It was sketchy, but we got it on there. Alright, guys, let's get here nice and personal. I don't know if you can see what you're doing here, but... Hammer. Okay. Alright. The struggle is over. Alright guys, so it sits kind of forward now. Like I used to with the stock springs. But dang, look how much ground clearance that it has compared to the other. And I already jumped on it a few times to try to let it sag. I'm sure it's gonna settle a little bit down, but it's a lot better. It's a lot higher. So that's a wrap for our four-wheeler. Getting the rear springs in it finally. If you guys like the content, please subscribe. If you don't, that's fine also. But catch you on the next side.